You clearly have your act together. Let me go through my little checklist here. You haven't been to jail?
No.
No jail?
No, not yet.
Rehab?
No.
No rehab. Amanda Bynes, what kind of a starlet are you?
I'm very lucky. I have a great family, and I just have my eye on the prize, which for me is a long career, and I don't want to blow what I've worked so hard to achieve.
Once again, Amanda Bynes is in trouble with the law, this time in New York. After a bizarre incident at her apartment building, the actress is charged with reckless endangerment, tampering with evidence, and unlawful possession of marijuana.
You look gorgeous. Hold on. Right here. No, come towards me. No, just walk towards me. Can I just get a shot of you walking towards me?
I'm asking you not.
I'm done. Ow! Yo, what the hell? Yo, let me go. What the hell is wrong with you? Stop that.
We need to talk about Amanda Bynes, because if you grew up in the late 90s or early 2000s, then you know she was everywhere. She was that hilarious kid on Nickelodeon who could literally do it all. Sketch comedy, crazy characters, physical comedy, game shows, you name it. She was a star before she even hit high school, but behind the scenes, things weren't always as lighthearted as her roles on screen. The pressure of growing up in the spotlight, non-stop work, and dealing with her own personal struggles began to take a toll. And eventually, the Amanda we saw on TMZ was a far cry from the girl we grew up watching. Today, we're gonna take a walk through Amanda's story, from her rise as a young comedian to those scandals that played out in the public eye and where she is today. It's not just another sad Hollywood story. It's a deeper look at the real complicated journey growing up under pressure, living in the spotlight, and trying to hold it all together when the world is watching you fall apart. Hey y'all, it's True Crime Queen. Please make sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Let's roll the intro. Amanda Laura Bynes was born on April 3rd, 1986 in the affluent area Thousand Oaks, California. She is the youngest of 3 siblings in a tight-knit middle-class family. Her father, Rick Bynes, was a dentist, and her mother, Lynn, worked as a dental assistant and office manager. From an early age, Amanda stood out for her wit and charm, qualities that would soon push her into the spotlight. By the time she was 7, Amanda was already booking TV commercials, including spots for Nestle and Barbie. She told Paper Magazine in 2018 that she booked more than 20 commercials in a year and a half, while also participating in community theater productions like Annie and The Secret Garden. In 1996, her natural charisma and confidence on stage led her parents to enroll her in a comedy camp at the Laugh Factory in Los Angeles, California, where she gained more experience at learning how to be a comedian alongside other famous successful comedians. And one night before a performance, she was even introduced by Arsenio Hall.
Please welcome, really? That's even more amazing. 10-year-old Amanda Bynes.
Maybe I should have skipped that 13th candy bar.
Comedy camp graduates include Tiffany Haddish and Nick Cannon, among others. Previous instructors have included Richard Pryor, Jim Carrey, Chris Rock, Bob Saget, Dave Chappelle, and many, many others. So one night at the Laugh Factory, Brian Robbins, who at the time was an executive producer on All That, which aired on the kids network, Nickelodeon, happened to be in the audience. After watching Amanda perform, he was so impressed that he approached her parents and encouraged them to let her audition for the network.
Well, my dad saw like an article that, kids could do a comedy camp at the Laugh Factory.
Right.
So it was like for 6 weeks or something, like Arsenio Hall came on and he would like critique your act.
Right.
And Richard Pryor came on.
Wow.
So that was really cool. He was so neat. It was so cool. I was like, wow, it was so neat to meet him, And then there was like a graduation night, and that's where the producers of the show, like Brian Robbins and Dan Schneider, came on the show and they saw me there. So
and that was it. You just got discovered right off of the comedy camp.
Yeah.
In 1996, Amanda landed a spot on All That, which was Nickelodeon's hit sketch comedy show, which was often described as a Saturday Night Live for kids. Okay, that concept might not sound totally appropriate now, but trust me, back then it made way more sense.
5 minutes. Oh, I see you've all met our new cast member, Amanda. Isn't she all happy and perky? I just know she's gonna fit right in. Oh, a bunny.
Amanda gave it to me. I got a tiger. Bear.
Cookies. What wonderful gifts. You got me a present?
Of course.
Give it. What's this red button right here?
Gee, I don't know. Why don't you push it?
Alrighty.
Adios, sucker.
You launched Kevin right through the roof.
You did that on purpose, didn't you? Uh-huh.
Amanda, I just have one thing to say. Welcome to the cast.
It was the start of something huge, and her joining the show also marked the beginning of her working relationship with producer and creator Dan Schneider. But more on him later. In 1996, at just 10 years old, Amanda was cast on Nickelodeon's wildly popular sketch comedy series, All That. In an ensemble of young actors, she quickly became a fan favorite for her physical comedy and original characters, like the hyper-aggressive Ashley in the Ask Ashley sketch, and in the Whatever with Gina and Jessica sketches, where she worked with castmate Christy Knowings, played two Valley Girl BFFs who were sarcastic, clueless, and always saying, whatever.
I'm the poor, ow.
Okay, like here, Kobe's a nice glass of punch for you. Oh, I'm like so sorry.
We caught a Kobe.
That's all the time we have for today.
Yeah, with things to do.
So like until we meet again.
Amanda said she had been obsessed with the series before she even landed a part on it. She even recalls making her mom stay cooped up in a hotel room along with her while on vacation just so she could watch a marathon. 3 years later, Nickelodeon producers told Amanda that they wanted to create an entire series centered around her. The result? The Amanda Show. At just 13 years old, Amanda achieved something incredibly rare, even for adult performers. She became the face of her very own sketch comedy series. Week after week, Amanda transformed into a rotating cast of completely over-the-top characters, from a sassy kid judge named Trudy, which was a clear parody of Judge Judy, to an obsessed superfan. And who could forget Crazy Courtney?
What do you want?
I'm Miss Hamrick, your new piano teacher.
My name's Courtney.
Hello, Courtney. Courtney?
What is that?
Baby.
Courtney, you need to concentrate. Can you do that? My shirt! Ouch! Shoo! I'm leaving! Enjoy life without music! Maha yourself!
Now, there was also that awkward clip of Amanda in the hot tub with that producer that I told you about earlier, Dan Schneider.
Hi, welcome to my jacuzzi. Today my special guest is the executive producer of the Amanda Show, Dan Schneider.
Hi.
Now, you're the executive producer of the show?
Yeah, I'm the executive producer and I'm the head writer.
You actually wrote the words we're saying together right now?
Yes, I actually wrote this whole conversation that we're having right now.
I see. Now, since you're the executive producer of the show, can I have a raise?
No.
Okay. How about I play the spaghetti?
Nah.
No?
I'm kidding, no, that was spaghetti.
Hooray!
Bring the spaghetti! All right.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Definitely one of those what the hell were they thinking moments when you see it today. Then there was Moody's Point, which was a sketch that acted as a spoof of the teen drama series Dawson's Creek. And one of the most unforgettable twists in a dramatic moment, Moody leaves with her real parents, only for viewers to be introduced to the real Moody in a hilarious over-the-top reveal.
Moody, I'd like you to meet your parents. The worst parts. The flying worst parts. Flying?
For circus people.
Hello, Yolanda. Yolanda? Mm-hmm.
That's your real name.
Bye, everyone.
Bye, Yolanda.
Wait. I just want to tell all of you how much each one of you means to me and how much I'll miss you guys for the rest of my life. Okay. Are you all ready to meet the real Moody? Come in, Moody.
The show was then canceled, ending the sketch on a cliffhanger, and we as viewers never got to meet the real Moody. The show ran for 3 seasons before it ended in 2002, launching Amanda into a whole new world of stardom. Now it's worth noting that Dan Schneider, during a 2024 video released on his YouTube page, claimed that when Amanda was about 16, she was going through a personal crisis and considered emancipating herself from her parents, which basically means when a teen becomes legally independent from their parents and can make adult decisions on their own, like where to live, how to manage their money, etc. She allegedly called him late one night after running away and asked to stay with him and his wife. Schneider said they picked her up, but instead of letting her move in, they contacted authorities to make sure she was safe and returned to proper care.
Amanda was between the ages of 16 and 17, and she wanted to get emancipated from her parents, which was a fairly common thing with successful young actors, at least at the time.
Sure.
And she wanted that for herself. So she turned to her team. She tried to get emancipated and ended up not working out. She didn't. One night, it was very late, well after midnight, 1 or 2 in the morning. Phone rang. I answered. It was Amanda. She was upset. She was in distress. She had had some conflict with her parents, I think her father, and she called me. I was immediately concerned about her safety. I called someone who I knew was fairly nearby. That person was able to go and pick her up. Then I knew she was safe. I felt better. She ended up being taken to the police.
Privately, Amanda began to navigate the pressures of growing up in the spotlight, telling Paper Magazine, quote, "I started smoking marijuana when I was 16. Even though everyone thought I was the good girl, I did smoke marijuana from that point on. I didn't get addicted then, and I wasn't abusing it. And I wasn't going out and partying, making a fool of myself. Yet." After dominating Nickelodeon, Amanda made the leap to more adult roles. One of her first big steps was starring in the WB sitcom What I Like About You alongside Jenny Garth, which premiered in 2002. The show gave Amanda a chance to grow up on screen, playing Holly, a funny, independent teen, navigating life in New York City. Amanda later said this role was her favorite role to play.
I would probably say What I Like About You. That TV show was super fun. I loved working with Jenny Garth and Leslie Grossman, Wesley Jonathan, and Simon Rex. It was such a great experience, so that would probably be my favorite project that I worked on.
The same year, she starred alongside Frankie Muniz in Big Fat Liar, playing a quick-witted teen trying to outsmart a sleazy movie producer. The film was a box office hit for kids and teens and grossed more than $50 million against a $15 million budget, according to Box Office Mojo. Then came What a Girl Wants in 2003, which was a modern princess-style story that paired Amanda with Colin Firth. She played a relatable, funny teen named Daphne Reynolds. The film follows Daphne, who travels to London to meet the wealthy, high-society father who she's never known, turning his carefully controlled life upside down as she tries to connect with him. The movie was a global success and further cemented her appeal across age groups. In 2006, her show What I Like About You ended after 4 seasons. The same year, her movie She's the Man premiered. It was a modern update on Shakespeare's The Twelfth Night, where Amanda played a teen girl dressing up as a man to pose as her brother, which Amanda later said was, quote, an interesting experience.
Hey! What up?
What's your name?
Sebastian Hastings.
Duke Orsino. Okay. Okay, why do you have tampons in your boot?
I get really bad nosebleeds. Beckham does it all the time.
Serious?
Yes. Look, I'll show you how to do it. Take that off and that is. And stick right in. It absorbs right up. That's disgusting. Oh my god, your roommate's a freak.
She told Paper Magazine, quote, "When the movie came out and I saw it, I went into a deep depression for 4 to 6 months because I didn't like how I looked when I was a boy. I've never told anyone that. Seeing herself with short hair and sideburns was a super strange out-of-body experience. It just really put me into a funk," end quote.
You had to dress as a guy.
Yep.
How was that?
Well, as you see, I just look like a dainty man. I look like a girl with like a weird hairdo. And I'm wearing like a padded man suit, which doesn't make me look more manly at all. I just look sort of like pudgy and strange.
In 2007, Amanda starred in Hairspray, which was a remake of John Waters' cult classic of the same name. She later spoke very highly of her time filming the movie and getting the chance to sing, dance, and act alongside co-stars like John Travolta and Zac Efron, saying, quote, "That movie to this day was the most amazing experience I've ever had on a set," end quote. But while her career was still thriving publicly, behind the scenes, Amanda's substance use began to evolve beyond weed. She said in part, quote, "Later on, it progressed to doing Molly and ecstasy. I tried cocaine 3 times, but I never got high from cocaine. I never liked it. It was never my drug of choice," end quote. One drug she admits she started taking on a regular basis, however, was Adderall. Around the time of Hairspray, she remembers, quote, "reading an article in a magazine that called Adderall the new skinny pill, and they were talking about how women were taking it to stay thin. I was like, well, I have to get my hands on that," end quote. After Hairspray, Amanda took on one final film role in Easy A in 2010, playing Mary Ann, Emma Stone's uptight rival. The movie was a hit, grossing about $75 million on an $8 million budget. Despite the popularity of the film, Amanda had a very different reaction after she attended a screening of the film. She said in part, "I literally couldn't stand my appearance in that movie, and I didn't like my performance. I was absolutely convinced I needed to stop acting after seeing it. I was high on marijuana when I saw that, but for some reason, it really started to affect me. I don't know if it was a drug-induced psychosis or what, but it affected my brain in a different way than it affects other people. It absolutely changed my perception of things," end quote. But despite the success, in June 2010, Amanda, who was only 24, tweeted something that made it clear she was done. She wrote, quote, "Being an actress isn't as fun as it seems. If I don't love something anymore, I stop doing it. I don't love acting anymore, so I've stopped doing it. I know 24 is the young age to retire, but you heard it here first." Amanda later revealed in an interview with Paper Magazine in 2018 that her self-esteem issues played a part in why she took a step back from Hollywood. Just over a month after her retirement announcement, she seemingly reversed the decision, tweeting simply, "I've unretired," which she followed up with a link to the trailer for her then upcoming film, Easy A, which premiered in September of that year, just a few months after her retirement. At the time, her retirement tweets seemed strange and sudden, but in hindsight, they were just the beginning. Things were about to spiral in a way that no one would see coming. Amanda said that she, quote, "started hanging out with a seedier crowd and I isolated a lot. I got really into my drug usage and it became a really dark, sad world for me." She sums up her life back then as, quote, "being stuck at home, getting high, watching TV, and tweeting," end quote. Okay, now this next part could be its own mini-series, but I've trimmed it down to the essentials. And so here's the rapid fire of Amanda's legal issues and controversies. On April 6, 2012, Amanda was arrested for driving under the influence in West Hollywood, California. Apparently, the actress was accused of hitting a stopped police car. After being arrested, she refused a test that would have determined if she was either drunk or using drugs. On June 5, 2012, after being formally charged with a DUI, Amanda pleaded her case directly to President Obama through Twitter, saying, quote, "Hey Barack Obama, I don't drink. Please fire the cop who arrested me. I also don't hit and run. The end." She pleaded not guilty to the charge. In February 2014, she was placed on 3 years probation and had to attend a 3-month alcohol education course and pay fines. On April 10, 2012, Amanda was accused of hitting another car on the San Fernando Valley's 101 freeway and leaving the scene. On August 5, 2012, Amanda was accused of another hit and run, this time on Ventura Boulevard. On September 5, 2012, Amanda was formally charged with 2 counts of hit and run relating to the incidents in April and August. She faced up to a year in jail if convicted of both misdemeanors. She eventually pleaded not guilty, and in the end, she settled both hit and run cases privately with the victims and the charges were dismissed in December 2012, according to CBS News. On September 16, 2012, Amanda was pulled over for driving with a suspended license, which according to E! News, unpaid tickets and multiple failures to show up for court to answer for them are what led to her having her license pulled. On September 17, 2012, Lindsay Lohan, Amanda's one-time acting rival, was upset that Amanda hadn't been incarcerated, tweeting, quote, "Why did I get put in jail and a Nickelodeon star has no punishment so far?" Following a few minutes later with the message, "These are moments that I appreciate my life experiences, living without regrets, and Disney for supporting me as an actress," end quote. On September 20th, 2012, Amanda tells People that despite appearances, she's, quote, "doing amazing," and that she's also starting a fashion line and moving to New York. She claims again that she doesn't drink. The article also quotes an observer who watched Amanda engage in bizarre behavior at the gym, stripping to her strapless push-up bra in a spin class, pulling out her makeup kit, and exiting the class after spending 10 minutes touching up her lipstick and eyeliner. On September 21st, 2012, TMZ reported that Amanda had been dropped by her agent, publicist, and her lawyer all in the span of a few weeks. The trio reportedly quit only after not being able to get in touch with Amanda for an entire month. According to TMZ sources, Amanda was a dream client for years, but had become increasingly difficult over the past year. On March 22nd, 2013, in one of her most infamous tweets, Amanda tweeted that she wanted Drake to, well, you can read it on screen. On May 1st, 2013, in an exclusive interview, Amanda told In Touch that she's not crazy, saying, quote, "I have no clue why people say I'm insane. Every time I've heard it, it came from an ugly person's mouth, so I don't care." She repeated one more time that she doesn't drink because she's allergic to alcohol, and insisted that she doesn't smoke weed, and says that she's focused on getting in shape for all the photo shoots. Additionally, Amanda says she's designing clothes and can't wait to start working on an album. On May 9, 2013, Amanda pleaded no contest to driving with a suspended license and was sentenced to 3 years of probation. She was also ordered to pay a $1,400 fine. Her DUI case was still pending. On May 22, 2013, the Daily Mail published a story inside what they called Amanda's drug-fueled house party, claiming that Amanda sleeps on a bare mattress, that her windows have been spray painted black, and saying that an empty baggie was seen on the floor. On May 23, 2013, Amanda was arrested in Manhattan, New York, after she threw a bong out of a window. Police say a building official called authorities to complain that Amanda was smoking weed and rolling a joint in the building's lobby. TMZ reports that the building official said Amanda was talking to herself, and the officers went to Amanda's apartment where they saw heavy smoke and a bong, which Amanda threw out of the window in front of officers.
Amanda, anything you want to say at all? The story is that you threw a bong and items out the window. Is that true, Amanda?
Guys, let her get in the car. Sure.
Amanda, how are you feeling right now?
Amanda, are you going to tell your parents now? You think it's time to tell your parents now?
TMZ, who posted a video of the arrest, also reported at the time that Amanda was briefly taken to a hospital for psychiatric evaluation and then taken to the station for booking. She was arrested on charges of reckless endangerment, tampering with evidence, and criminal possession of weed. The case was dismissed on June 30th, 2014, after the actress complied with the judge's orders to stay out of trouble and go to counseling, according to CBS. On May 25th, 2013, Amanda went to Twitter to tell her side of the arrest story, claiming that the reports were all lies. She says that police found no weed on her and that there was no bong outside of her window. She also claims that one of the officers sexually harassed her by slapping her vagina. According to a report published from NBC DFW on May 28th, 2013, 5 days after her arrest over the bong incident, New York Police Department fired back against Amanda's claims that one of its officers assaulted her. Deputy Commissioner Paul J. Brown told E! News in a statement, quote, "NYPD internal affairs investigators have found no evidence to corroborate Ms. Bynes' allegations. To the contrary, a credible civilian witness who was with the officers throughout told investigators that none touched Ms. Bynes inappropriately or otherwise engaged in any misconduct at any time," end quote. On May 26, 2013, Amanda lashed out at Rihanna on Twitter, saying, quote, "Chris Brown beat you because you're not pretty enough." Rihanna clapped back by tweeting, "You see what happens when they cancel intervention." Amanda's tweets were later deleted. Also that day, Amanda tweeted that she was suing her family for money laundering and unethical manager work, saying that she's no longer speaking to her parents, saying, quote, "I would rather them be homeless than live off of my money," end quote. On May 27, 2013, Amanda tweeted that she was suing the NYPD for illegally entering my apartment, lying about drugs on me, and lying about me tampering with non-existent drug paraphernalia. Then I'm suing for being put into a mental hospital against my will. Then locked up overnight for coming home after a facial and working out with my trainer like the good girl that I am. She repeats that she's allergic to drugs and alcohol and ends the note by saying that she's looking forward to a long and wonderful career as a singer/rapper. She also said that her tweets about Rihanna were fake, saying, quote, "Rihanna and I met and I'm sure we'll be in a music video together one day." End quote. On May 28, 2013, Amanda claims that she was suing TMZ as well as the officer who she says allegedly harassed her. She says she will not press charges against the cop though, and that his punishment will be being the cop who sexually harassed someone who would never find him handsome enough to be my boyfriend. End quote. During this time, she made several court appearances with a new look that consisted of colorful and disheveled wigs. According to People magazine, on July 22, 2013, the actress was hospitalized on a 72-hour involuntary psychiatric hold following a bizarre incident in which she was seen near a small fire started at the end of a driveway in Thousand Oaks, California.
As for her dog, we found out, in fact, we have surveillance video at a gas station where it's clear that she had spilled gasoline on the dog when she was trying to light the fire, and she was trying to wash the dog off at this gas station. The dog is okay. The dog is being cared for right now by Amanda's parents.
According to the LA Times, deputies responded to a home on Avenida de las Arboles at about 8:46 p.m. Sergeant Eric Bouchot with the Ventura County Sheriff's Office said, quote, "There was a call about a small fire that she'd apparently set in front of the residence, kind of out on a sidewalk on the concrete. It wasn't an attempt to burn down the house or anything." End quote. Bouchot said the fire caused no property damage.
I was really worried because I didn't know who had done this, and they were asking me if I knew anybody that would do something like that to my driveway, and I don't.
Witness Andrew Liverpool told reporters that he saw, quote, "This girl lying down here with her left pant leg on fire, and there's this gas can right here and it's trailing fire." Liverpool said when he went to go help, she had already managed to snuff out the flames on her pant leg. The witness said Amanda was with a small dog, and when the man asked if she was okay, she said she was fine. After a hearing at the hospital, a judge extended her stay for 2 more weeks while her parents, Rick and Lynn, applied for a conservatorship on the grounds that she was paranoid and a danger to herself, which was granted on July 25, 2013. According to court records, her parents said, quote, "Prior to moving to New York, Amanda was extremely paranoid about being watched, including at our residence. She is obsessed with the idea that she and others are ugly. She talks incessantly about cosmetic surgeries that she wants to have completed. We are concerned that the surgeries that she wants to have are dangerous and detrimental to her health." End quote. The LA Times reports that the court records show Amanda had approximately $4 million in savings, but had spent about $1.2 million in a short time frame, with many checks written out to cash. In June and July, they say, she withdrew $100,000 from her accounts, all in cash. According to People magazine, after her parents were granted conservatorship in July 2013, the actress was relocated from the hospital where she was on psychiatric hold to a private facility where she stayed until December of that year. Following her release, Amanda retreated into a low-key life and disappeared off social media, resurfacing only occasionally to give updates, such as her enrollment in fashion school in 2014. Later that year, Amanda was arrested in Van Nuys, California on September 28, 2014, after failing field sobriety tests and appearing under the influence of a drug, not alcohol. She was booked on a misdemeanor DUI charge and held on $15,000 bail. At the time, Amanda was already on 3 years probation stemming from her April 2012 DUI. The Los Angeles City Attorney's Office opted not to press new DUI charges, but instead referred the case to probation officials to determine whether she had violated terms of her earlier probation from her first DUI. By January 2015, the city attorney confirmed that she would not be charged for the September incident. Although the case was forwarded to probation authorities, no new probation violations were pursued, and her original probation remained intact. According to the media outlet Newsmax, concluding that based on police records, we believe there was a violation. A Ventura County judge extended the 28-year-old actress's temporary conservatorship to June 23, 2015. In June 2017, then 3 years sober, Amanda did her first interview in 4 years with the media outlet Hollyscoop, in which she talked about her life since retreating from the public eye. The actress announced that she was ready to start acting again and addressed some of her most bizarre tweets. Let's take a closer look.
I've been going to school lately, fashion school, FITM, and I love it. I've learned how to sew, I make patterns, and I want to start a clothing line in the future. So FITM has been helping me with that. Other than that, I hike, I go spinning, take spinning classes, and I feed the homeless, and that's been really interesting and fun.
Do you miss acting?
I do miss acting, and I actually have something surprising to tell you. I'm going to start acting again.
Yes! Yes! Oh my god, I've been a fan of yours for years, so
Thank
hearing
you,
that
doll.
is so amazing. When you told Drake to murder your vagina.
I actually wasn't being insincere. I was like saying, murder my vagina.
You were serious.
I was serious, but I was also on drugs. So that was my way of saying like, let's do it, man. But I was like on drugs and trying to be hilarious.
In some positive news for Amanda, she graduated from California's Fashion Institute of Design and Merchandising, aka FITM, in June 2019. Amanda, who first enrolled in the fashion school back in 2014, posted a photo from her graduation day with the caption, FITM Graduate 2019. CBS reports that in March 2022, Amanda, who was 35 at the time, was formally released from her conservatorship, which allowed her to take control back over her personal and financial decisions. A judge indicated in a ruling that the conservatorship was no longer required. An attorney for Amanda's parents told NBC News that they support their daughter's move to end the conservatorship. At a hearing, the judge made the change official. Amanda was once again in charge of her own life. In a statement to People magazine, Amanda said, quote, "In the last several years, I have been working hard to improve my health so that I can live and work independently, and I will continue to prioritize my well-being in this next chapter." However, in yet another shocking twist, on March 19, 2023, Amanda was placed under another psychiatric hold after being found wandering the streets with no clothes on and disoriented. Glamour magazine reports Amanda was walking naked in downtown Los Angeles, California, where she waved down a car and explained that she was coming down from a psychotic episode. According to TMZ, the outlet reports that she called 911 herself and was taken to a local police station. There, authorities determined that she should be put under a 5150, which is a 72-hour psychiatric hold in a hospital, which was later extended to about 3 weeks, according to ET Online. Then, only a few months later, on June 17th, LAPD detained Amanda after receiving a call reporting a woman in distress. According to Page 6, Amanda had flagged down a passing car and asked for help, which prompted someone to contact authorities. When officers arrived, they determined that she needed to be placed on a 5150 psychiatric hold, a California law that allows individuals to be involuntarily hospitalized for up to 72 hours if they are considered a danger to themselves or others. According to OK Magazine, following her release on June 30th, she transitioned to outpatient treatment, which included regular check-ins with mental health providers and a recovery plan focused on long-term stability. Following a year marked by mental health struggles and recovery, Amanda recently made headlines again, this time for a more personal decision tied to body image and the pressures of public scrutiny. Entertainment Weekly reports the former child star, who was 39 at the time, said that she was excited to begin a weight loss journey.
And what else did I want to post about? Oh, I'm going on Ozempic. So excited. I'm 173 now, so I hope to get down to like 130, which would be awesome. So I look better in paparazzi pictures and you don't see my double chin from strange angles. Yeah, so that's about it. I will post about my own journey, of course. And yeah, that's about it. Have a good night, everybody.
For those who don't know, Ozempic is an anti-diabetic injection medication that helps manage diabetes, but has been used as a popular weight loss method among stars in recent years. Amanda eventually addressed her tweets expressing regret about her viral statements, saying, quote, "I'm really ashamed and embarrassed with the things I said. I can't turn back time, but if I could, I would. And I'm so sorry to whoever I hurt and whoever I lied about, because it truly eats away at me. It makes me feel so horrible and sick to my stomach and sad. Everything I worked my whole life to achieve, I kind of ruined it all through Twitter. But," she adds, "it's definitely not Twitter's fault, it's my own fault. My advice to anyone who's struggling with substance abuse would be to be really careful, because drugs can really take a hold of your life. Everybody is different, obviously, but for me, the mixture of marijuana and whatever other drugs and sometimes drinking really messed up my brain. It really made me a completely different person. I actually am a nice person. I would never feel, say, or do any of the things I did and said to the people I hurt on Twitter." Amanda Bynes' story is messy, painful, and far from over, but it's also one of survival. From childhood fame to mental health struggles, she's still here and still trying. Amanda was never just a Nickelodeon star. She's a reminder of how fame can break people and how healing is a lifelong process. If you or someone you know is struggling with mental health, contact the National Alliance on Mental Illness at nami.org or call or text the Suicide Crisis Lifeline at 988. I'll also have additional resources in the comment section down below. Y'all, this video was really kind of difficult to make just because I grew up a huge Nickelodeon fan. If you grew up watching The Amanda Show, then you know that there was a website called amandaplease.com, and on there it just had a bunch of like different games and things for the show. There even was like a part where you could like message her, and I remember my dad was like helping me type up a message to her, and I thought it was like really going to her because I was like really young at the time. But being such a huge fan of her growing up, it was really sad to see a lot of the different controversies. I do remember when she first started kind of getting arrested and starting appearing on TMZ. You know, at first I was like, okay, that's, you know, maybe she's just kind of going through something. But then when it started to get a little bit more serious, that's when I was like, oh my gosh, like what's happening? Like, you know, hopefully she's okay. But at least from the outside looking in, it does look like she's doing so much better, and I am so happy for her. So please make sure to leave your thoughts and comments respectfully in the comment section down below. Thank you for watching this video. I love you for watching. Bye.